ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here is a very nice description about how the living entities can attain perfection by inquiring and following the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master. Whether one is a woman, one is a man, one is a brahmana, one is a shudra, vaishya, anyone, how one can attain, what kind of devotional service he should render in order to attain perfection. Because Mother Devahuti, she is feeling that she is not very intelligent enough. Being a woman, she is not very much acquainted with Vedas, the knowledge given in the Vedic literatures. So she is asking a question: what kind of devotional service should I render so that I can attain perfection in this life? So Prabhupada explains in the purport that it is the spiritual master who knows which disciple, how to engage the different disciples into varieties of different services, what kind of devotional service they should render, so that all of them can gradually be elevated in devotional service and they can go back to Godhead. Actually, if we see how the living entities begin their spiritual journey, first of all, in the beginning, when by the mercy of the Lord we develop a distaste for this material existence, after trying to enjoy this material world for many lifetimes, when the living entity develops a distaste and eagerly he wants to get out of this entanglement, when that kind of sincere desire a living entity develops, the Supreme Lord helps him. Sitting in the heart, the Lord guides him to a bona fide spiritual master. Whereas, if the living entity actually does not desire to get out of this material existence, and rather he wants to take spiritual life also as some kind of arrangement for material enjoyment, then actually he becomes cheated. And that's how we find society filled with cheaters and cheated. We want to get cheated in the name of spiritual life, then Krishna sends us to a cheater. Because that is our desire. We don't want to pay the price of spiritual life. Say for example, spiritual life means 4 regulative principles. And if somebody does not want to pay that price, no, I will not follow 4 regulative principles, but still I want spiritual life, then there are so many who want to give cheap spiritual life, and you want cheap spiritual life. So then God makes an arrangement that these 2 classes of people meet each other, cheaters and cheated. But if someone has a sincere desire, he is fed up with this material existence, he has developed a distaste for this material existence, and he wants to get out, he prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, I am fed up with this material existence, I want to come out. Then the Lord, seated in the heart, He guides him to meet a bona fide spiritual master. Actually, that is very rare. That's how it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Ji Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. Or sometimes it is the benediction, the greatness and the mercy of the spiritual master who, in order to serve the Supreme Lord, taking all kinds of risk, is wandering in different places in order to give Krishna consciousness to the living entities. So, by fortune, if one comes in touch with such a bona fide spiritual master, then his path to liberation becomes opened. So that is how, by the combination of mercy of spiritual master and Krishna, we take to the path of devotional service. Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. And then, how should one accept the spiritual master is also very important science. In Bhagavad Gita, it is very nicely explained. Krishna says, one has to surrender and one has to serve. Surat Govinda, what is that verse? Tat vidhi pranipatena. Pranipatena means one has to completely surrender. There is a quality in surrender. Quality in surrender means he has accepted to be completely guided by the words and orders of the spiritual master. And once one has surrendered, there is no argument. No argument. One can inquire submissively. This is the meaning of submission. Submission means, if you have to argue, then before accepting only, one should try to find out whether I should surrender. Where should I surrender? That he has to decide before. Once surrendered, he cannot argue. That is the process of attaining spiritual knowledge. Pranipatena. And then submissively the subject matter which he does not understand, he should inquire submissively. That is another very important thing. We find this in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Parikshit Maharaj was inquiring submissively so many beautiful questions he is asking, Shukdev Goswami is getting more and more encouragement. Just like in one of the chapters in the 10th canto, it is described, Shukdev Goswami finished speaking about the pastimes of Lord Balaram. And then Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing this, he is asking Shukdev Goswami that I am very much satisfied with the kind of different explanations of the Leelas of the Lord you have given about Krishna and Balaram. And then he is saying, my dear master, I have heard that the Supreme Lord is unlimited. His pastimes are also unlimited. Can you please explain to me those pastimes which you have not yet described till now? Can you further elaborate on more pastimes of the Supreme Lord? And these Leelas of the Lord, these pastimes of the Lord, they are so important for the living entities that actually, even though people do not have taste for these Leelas of the Lord, Krishna Katha, they may not have taste because of being so much absorbed in sense gratification, they have no taste. But he is saying, I have so much taste that I want to hear more and more. And by chance, somehow or other, if the living entities come in touch with these pastimes, their life will also become auspicious because all their material hankerings, everything will be finished. They will become purified and they will develop taste. So kindly, please elaborate on more pastimes which you may not have told till now. And Shukdev Goswami was very encouraged. And he says that I am very encouraged to speak more and more about the pastimes of the Lord. And then he further starts describing different other pastimes. You see? So, these kinds of inquiries are very essential. Hearing from the spiritual master is most essential. Without hearing regularly from the spiritual master, one cannot advance in spiritual life. There is no shortcut. No shortcut. Only way is we have to hear from the spiritual master, follow the instructions of the spiritual master, and things we do not understand, we have to submissively inquire. And thus we can advance. So this is how one can easily advance in spiritual life. That's how we are seeing here. Mother Devahuti, she is inquiring that this is my position. I am a woman. What kind of devotional service should I practice being a woman so that I can easily attain to perfect devotional service? And Prabhupada is explaining that actually devotional service is so nice that it is not for a particular class of men. Prabhupada is saying, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, no one is barred from rendering devotional service to the Lord. No one is barred. Process may be different for different people. Isn't it? As a man, one may be required to undergo 4 ashramas and 4 varnas. Brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. He may be required to do that, isn't it? So that is a different process is given in the Vedic scripture. But devotional service is so nice that whatever ashram one may be in, whatever varna one may be in, or even if one is a woman, because Krishna is saying Stri, Vaishya, Tata, Shudra. So somebody may be in an ashrama, somebody may be in different varna, and somebody may be even a woman. And Krishna says even there are papayoniyas. Because these four may not be just like Vaishya, Shudras do not generally come into the papayoni. But there are Chandalas, 5th class, 6th class, 10th class. All different kinds of papayonis are there. Te api yanti param gatim. Even they can attain the perfection of life by surrendering to the Lord. So how to surrender? What path one has to follow? That is decided by the spiritual master. He knows what will suit one best, how one should practice devotional service. That is decided by him. He engages the different disciples in varieties of different services. You see. So, in Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, while giving lecture about this verse in the book Teachings of Lord Kapila, Prabhupada comments about Lord Krishna personally accepting spiritual master to set an example for all of us how important it is to accept the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada says there, not only Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted a spiritual master, even though he is the Supreme Lord himself, in order to make us understand the importance of spiritual master. Prabhupada further elaborates, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was called Nimai Pandit. He was very learned scholar, so much so that he could defeat all the so-called scholars. But in front of his spiritual master, he accepted himself as a fool, that I am not very learned. And spiritual master also accepted him as a fool. This is very important. In front of spiritual master, not that I am very learned, then we cannot learn anything. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Prakashananda Saraswati, and Prakashananda Saraswati was asking this question, you should be reading Vedanta. Instead of reading Vedanta, you are dancing and singing in the street. Why are you doing this? As a sannyasi, you should be doing this, reading Vedanta. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I simply approached my spiritual master and he saw me that I am a fool number one. So he told me very clearly, don't read Vedanta. You cannot understand Vedanta. Then what should I do? He said, you simply chant the holy name of the Lord and you dance and instruct others also. And I am getting the results. I am feeling ecstasies. You see? So, it is so important to accept the bona fide spiritual master and follow his instructions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally demonstrated himself. Lord Krishna personally demonstrated. Krishna was talking to Sudama. He said, Sudama, when Sudama came to meet Lord Krishna, so he said, do you remember those days when we were in Gurukul, living in the ashram of our Guru? And Krishna says very important thing. He says, practically whatever we have learnt in our life is from the ashram of our spiritual master. So Prabhupada explains, it is so important. Krishna is saying that whatever knowledge we have learned, it is from the ashram. When we were living in our Guru's ashram, we have learned. I'll just read that. Krishna is saying, actually whatever knowledge you and I received in life was accumulated in our student life. And then Prabhupada makes a very important point. If a man is sufficiently educated in student life, under the guidance of a proper teacher, his life becomes successful in the future. He can very easily cross over the ocean of Nishayans, and he is not subject to the influence of illusory energy. Imagine how important it is. We are all living in the ashram of our spiritual master. Are we not? We are also living. All of us are living in ashram of our spiritual master. And Prabhupada is saying, while living as a student in the ashram of the spiritual master, if a man is sufficiently educated, so important, all of us have to become sufficiently educated in spiritual life. If we neglect, then actually very difficult to overcome illusory energy of the Lord. It is not possible. Whereas if we become sufficiently educated, then actually one can overcome. Because there is so much potency in this spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is compared to a sword. It is called sword of knowledge. With that, one can cut off the varieties of attachment we have to sense gratification. It is not dry speculative knowledge. This is a knowledge received in parampara, which is filled with potency. And if one submissively does oral reception to them, there is no doubt one becomes detached. Because knowledge and renunciation, they manifest together. If one is not renounced, that means actually he has not got real knowledge. Otherwise, if knowledge is there, detachment from this material world, from material sense gratification will automatically be there. So actually it is so important, isn't it? Everybody should read at least minimum half an hour, 1 hour. Take out time. We should not say I have no time. Because if we don't balance our proper reading, because I also feel sometime, I used to think a lot that when I came to Krishna consciousness, I read the whole Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything when I was outside. Somehow when I came inside, so difficult I found. Services were overwhelming, everything. And even till few days back I used to think, when will I read back once again? Somehow Krishna arranged, and every day I am able to read, because I have to prepare for classes, I have to prepare for recordings, and so much difference, you see. So we have to find out time. Somehow or other we should find out time, because the spiritual knowledge, these books are very, very potent. And actually it's a fact, if we become spiritually energized, we can do much more better service. Very efficiently we will be able to do. You see, how much difference is there? If you just take that example, even though it's a material example, sharpening the saw, even though it's just a... You take one unsharpened saw and try to cut tree. Externally you are spending so much time, cutting tree, I'm doing lot of work. But actually, it's not being done properly. It's not efficiently done. Whereas you spend some time for sharpening the saw, and then you see how easily you can cut, how efficiently, because you become empowered to cut more and more. Similarly, we should not neglect at any cost our sadhana. It is so important, it will empower us, and then you see how efficiently you will be able to do your services. It is very primary, Prabhupada says. Other things, okay. So much so Prabhupada said, okay, does not matter, sit down in the temple and chant, finish your rounds. So important, our sadhana, whatever we are doing. Because if we properly follow all those things, it empowers us. And with proper consciousness, we will be able to do our services. And then the combination of sadhana and seva, we can actually advance very fast. We can advance very fast. After reading books, if you don't get inspired for doing seva, you have not understood the essence of the books. You have not heard properly. You have not read properly. You see? So it is very important. So, the next, Krishna explains to Sudama some more very interesting truths about spiritual master. He says, my dear friend, everyone should consider his parents, father specifically, who gives the seed, to be his first spiritual master, natural spiritual master. We are indebted to him because he has given us this body. Our parents have given us this body. And then Prabhupada says, so now see how Prabhupada is developing this from the Bhagavata. Krishna is explaining all this to Sudama. Our next spiritual master is one who initiates us in transcendental knowledge. And he is to be worshipped as much as I am. Acharya mam vijaniya. See? No doubt our parents are our first spiritual master because they have given us this body. We are definitely indebted to them. But the one who gives us transcendental knowledge, who initiates us in transcendental knowledge, he should be taken as good as the Supreme Lord. He should be worshipped as good as the Supreme Lord. See what beautiful teachings Krishna is giving in Bhagavatam. How one should accept the spiritual master, isn't it? How one should respect the spiritual master. How one should take the order, now Krishna will show. How one should take the order. So this is how we have to accept. We have to accept as good as Supreme Lord. And how one should take the order of the spiritual master and carry out, that also Krishna will show. And then Prabhupada explains about Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Prabhupada says, yes, one can accept many Shiksha Gurus, but only one Diksha Guru, from whom we receive this transcendental knowledge, and all of them are representative of the Supreme Lord, no doubt about it. And then Krishna tries to remember those incidents. He tells Sudama, dear Sudama, do you remember one day on the order of our spiritual master, in order for the cooking to be done by our Guru Patni, we went to the forest to get some woods for the fuel which was required. And somehow, to carry out that order, to get that fuel, we entered into dense forest. And when we entered into the dense forest, there were dust and storm suddenly. And we were not able to see anything. Then the clouds appeared in the sky. There was lightning. And then there were showers of rain. And then within no time, the earth was filled with so much water that we could not make out. We were catching each other's hand. Any direction we were going, we were bewildered. And we could not find our way. Whole night we had to spend in the forest. Do you remember? And then, in the morning, when spiritual master saw that we have not returned, he personally came to the forest with other disciples to find us out. And after finding us out and seeing us in so much trouble, our spiritual master very compassionately spoke to us. And what did he speak? Very essential. So there are 3 very important points he spoke. He said, "It is very wonderful to see that you have suffered so much, you have taken so much trouble for me." This is the first thing which the spiritual master spoke to Krishna and Sudama. It's very wonderful to see how much you have suffered and how much trouble you have taken for me. And then the spiritual master said, generally, for everyone, every living entity, his first consideration is his body, to take care of his body. That is the first consideration. But you are so good, you are so faithful to your spiritual master, you did not care for your bodily comfort. You have taken so much trouble for your spiritual master. You see? And then further he said, this is very important, what he said. I am very glad to see a bona fide disciple like you who can undergo any kind of trouble for the satisfaction of his spiritual master. This is the meaning of a bona fide spiritual master, bona fide disciple. One, a bona fide disciple like you will undergo any kind of trouble for the satisfaction of the spiritual master. This is a meaning of bona fide disciple. He is ready to undergo any kind of trouble for the satisfaction of his spiritual master. Then Prabhupada explains, this is what his spiritual master is saying to Krishna and Sudama. Prabhupada comments on this. He says, that is the way for a bona fide disciple to become free from his debt to the spiritual master. There is no other way. Actually, Prabhupada says, no one can repay the debts to the spiritual master. We are so much indebted to him. We cannot repay. In millions of lifetime, we cannot repay. But this attitude of the disciple, that he is ready to take all risk to carry out the order of the spiritual master, pleases the spiritual master so much. And that's the only way to repay his debt. There is no other way. You see. And then Krishna further says to Sudama, now both of us have realized that without the blessing of our spiritual master, no one can be happy and peaceful in this material world. Without the blessings of the spiritual master, no one can be happy. And then of course, when Sudama was hearing all these things, Sudama replied. He said, my dear Lord, actually, you yourself are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and you are the supreme spiritual master. And I am so fortunate. You are the spiritual master of everyone. And I was so fortunate that I was having the opportunity to live along with you in the ashram of our spiritual master. I was so fortunate. And actually, all Vedic literatures, all transcendental knowledge, everything is meant to attain you. But you yourself are showing this example to accept a spiritual master. This leela of accepting a spiritual master, it's only out of your kind compassion, and it's only for your own pleasure, because you're deriving a pleasure in that. Otherwise, it's for no other purpose that you require a spiritual master. You are the spiritual master of everyone, isn't it? So actually, it is for all of us, showing compassion on all of us. The Supreme Lord personally carries out these different leelas to set an example for all of us, how one should accept the spiritual master. So, this is what we can see here, and Prabhupada is saying, if he engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord as given by the guidance of the spiritual master, he is promoted to the highest perfectional stage and goes back to home, back to Godhead. The devotional service most suitable for different types of devotees is determined and fixed by the mercy of spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada ki